NP Armageddon.
National Post-Apocalyptic Radio.
Starring Fred Willard,
How cool is that?
John Delancey,
It's a total parking lot out there.
Jello Biafra,
All you need is a thirst for adventure.
Tay Zonde,
Thank you.
Andrew Bowser,
A funny thing happened on the way to world domination.
Erica Ishii,
Nothing brightens your day quite like hard drugs.
Harlan Ellison,
This is outrageous.
and many more.
NP Armageddon on Spotify.
NP Armageddon.
National Post-Apocalyptic Radio.
Fred Willard,
Cool is that?
John Delancey,
It's a total parking lot out there.
Jello Biafra,
All you need is a thirst for adventure.
Tay Zonde,
Thank you.
Andrew Bowser,
A funny thing happened on the way to world domination.
Erica Ishii,
Nothing brightens your day quite like hard drugs.
Harlan Ellison,
This is outrageous.
and many more.
NP Armageddon on Spotify.
NP Armageddon.
National Post-Apocalyptic Radio.
Starring Fred Willard,
How cool is that?
John Delancey,
It's a total parking lot out there.
Jello Biafra,
All you
Have either of you fellows heard of a place called the White Lodge?
Cooper, you may be fearless in this world, but there are other worlds. My people believe that the White Lodge is a place where the spirits that rule man and nature here reside. There is also a legend of a place called the Black Lodge, the shadow self of the White Lodge. The legend says that every spirit must pass through there on the way to perfection. There, you will meet your own shadow self. But it is said, if you confront the Black Lodge with imperfect courage, it will utterly annihilate your soul.
Shall we play a game?
I can. That was so weird. I love OBS. It never wants to cooperate. How y'all doing? Thanks for joining me. I'm about to interview Randy Elwin, but before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to a bunch of people I've been meaning to thank. I want to thank Jay Holster, Commander Chunk, Crypt Keeper, Mile 45, 54 from New York, Snipe Flex, Toxiashi, Daisy Hayes, Mouse Kraus, Game Club Central, of course. Tyrandios, Fire Doug, The Champion, Gamer Room, Good Grief, who's always a great supporter, Sins, City Fin Fans, Outside Arts, Andy Cap 75, Game Club Central once again, Joe Soap, and Schizo Skipper. Thank you all for the last couple days. You've been awesome. And that's just from the last 2 days, so we appreciate all that. We're gonna get right into this. We're gonna start off with a video, so come check it out, and then we'll be straight into the interview. So let's go to browser main screen. So if you haven't seen this before, you get a little taste of it now. Mm. Mm. Let me lower it a little. Well, it's probably a little hard to hear me over it, but maybe not. Okay, you're here now. You keep changing where you are. Okay, so if you guys stand still long enough, we're gonna have Randy come in just a few minutes. I'm just gonna switch over to that, and yeah, just let this play out real quick. For the end credits. Glad to see y'all here. How you doing, Game Club Central? Hi, Mr. Grinch, the old pinball. Hey, thanks for updating my thing on Pinside. I really appreciate that. That was a big typo. So yeah, right. I love this part. That's so damn cool. Now go out and play pinball. Amen. All right. And so, oh, no, you don't. Okay, so we're gonna go to, as soon as I get my everything set. I believe it is this one. Randy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great, we're gonna get you right on screen right now. So large for 2, and you went away. Oh, why did it do it to me? Why God? Where did it go? Why is it gone? All right, we'll find it. Give us 2 seconds. It's being weird. There it is.
I'll be the disembodied voice.
All right, from beyond.
Timmy, don't climb the fence.
Do it, Timmy. Why is it doing that to me? All right, we'll try again. It loves me. If everything went smooth, it wouldn't be my stream. Okay, so I'm really happy to be able to present the Randy Elwin, creator of Pinball 101, 102, and the Collector Edition, which you just saw. He graciously came on again and tell us a little bit more about pinball video making. I think a little backstory is involved or deserved. When I initially found this video, it was actually through a friend of mine, and I had no idea. All I knew is I saw a cool video, and he was saying something about trying to help him do some streaming thing. He's like, yeah, check out this video, send me a copy, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So let's get an interview with this chap and see what it's all about. So, I don't do my homework right away because I'm a slacker, and I'm like, oh, that's who this person is. Oh, that's fabulous. But it really just makes awesome pinball videos. The first one was amazing. The second one is hardcore. So without further ado.
Can you hear me?
I think they should.
All right. So that was Pinball 102, live from the Papa facility, the former Papa facility. So we came out with Pinball 101 back in 2009. That was a long time ago.
Right.
And then actually I made the Pinball Collector, which is the old-timey games, wood rails, things like that. That's this guy.
Oh, okay. Right on. Yeah, didn't that have all art you were saying in the last interview, that if someone is so fortunate to get the Parisian edition?
That's if you're in Europe, and we did make a Pinball 101 European version, which was
one from the UK. I got my
the PAL format. But and then we get feedback, and people wanted to see more gameplay, things like that, and we're experimenting with different formats. Mainly because if you're making a DVD, you're restricted in, like a 720 by 480 box,
okay,
and
sure.
so you don't get a lot of detail.
Oh yeah, right on.
And you have to go in the before time, before YouTube was really popular and everybody was putting up streaming content and things like that.
Okay, back in the land of MySpace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And YouTube was just exactly.
Okay.
And presenting different formats pinballs are long and skinny, and before people would just shoot on a phone. So at any rate, the owner of Papa, that's Kevin Martin.
Okay.
And if you don't know what Papa is, that was the Professional Amateur Pinball Association.
Right.
And he owned a facility in Carnegie, Pennsylvania.
I believe
and
that's
that was
how they say it.
Yeah, and that's where all the tournaments, the big tournaments, were held. Up until I think 2017.
Right,
But,
and that's the very end video. That's where all the famous carpet.
Yeah. You'll see that in Stern's new Godzilla building. They mimic that carpet there.
That's kind of cool. That's really nice. That's a sweet homage.
Yeah, so Kevin invited us to come out to the Papa facility to shoot video of some of their games and do gameplay videos. And part of it is I think they were working on online tutorials and building up a library of gameplay of a bunch of machines. And if you go to their website, which is still active, you'll see mainly Bowen Kearns, who's another one of the top players. He'll go through and as he plays, he'll talk about the game he's playing and the strategy.
Okay, I think I've seen these.
Yeah, you've probably seen a couple of them. But these videos might predate that or along at the same time. So they invited us out for a couple of days, and let me see.
Yeah, Game Club said he went to Bowen went to Multimorphic, I guess. He was saying he's a great teacher.
I think he's consulting. So part of it, which you probably have realized if you've viewed this video, is rule sets can get complicated.
Yes. I'm about to embark on a month-long adventure of AC/DC. I figure maybe that's long enough to get the grasp on a chunk of it. They get quite involved, and the Iron Maiden's on my slate. And that was that's really cool. That was one thing about the video. I mean, it's a very different take than the first video. The first video was very entertaining, and this one's a lot more hardcore, but super valuable. It's hard. It was hard for me to take in one sitting. There's so much information, so I find myself going back to like just pieces of it, table by table, to really absorb it, because it's a lot of info, especially for a new player at least.
Yeah, it's intense, and
that's the word.
Part of it was our first video is just kind of scattershot. There's a lot of stuff there, and it's meant to be entertaining and informative, but nothing is ever more than like 2 or 3 minutes. So some people are saying, well, for the hardcore players, we'd like to know how to really play some of these games, but there's no information.
Yeah, sure.
No guides, or it's word of mouth. You have to hang around somebody, or somebody has the game and then they take the glass off and they go through all the settings or whatever, or the modes, and try to reverse engineer the rule sets. And the top players do trade info, and about that time, of course, there's some internet forums where you could do that.
Oh, so rule sets weren't like they are now, like all just explicit. You had to hunt them.
Oh yeah, unless you were pals with the engineer who designed them, and
sure, you got the inside
divulge.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's a whole different scene in a way.
Yeah, and so this is an effort to kind of visually describe how to play some games. And the games chosen are somewhat haphazard. It was mainly, we had a list of 30. And as typical with pinball, sometimes you'll have a game set up and then you realize something isn't working properly.
Okay, right.
So
Yeah.
you take that one out and you go get another one. And so it just for pre-production notes or whatever.
That's really
okay,
cool.
this is a diagram of when we go to pop a, if you can do that. This is it's kind of hokey. This is just a SketchUp. I don't know if you can zoom in.
I can't exactly zoom.
Well, man. That just describes a typical camera setup. So in the front are two cameras, one for the playfield, one for the display, and overhead is the overhead shot. And you notice in the videos, there's usually some black backdrop, and that's just to keep the ugly concrete or whatever's in the back of the loading dock or wherever we were playing. And that's just a SketchUp model. We had nobody that dressed like that there. Especially since it was December in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, there's our standard setup. Here, let me get a media source. Bear with me as I stumble around. But okay.
Walk it back. A fog of pinball. Amen. All right.
Okay. This is what glamour is when you're oh, he's sitting on a stool because we were there many hours. So there's a camera right at your chest, essentially. Actually, there's two cameras. So if you think you're a good player, try playing around a couple of cameras, and then there's one way up overhead. And no, it's not tracking. This is just on a loop now. Yeah, that was the giant boom. What that allows you to do though is you just camera setup in front, you just pull out, and then you get one of those game carts that Papa uses. You just you lift up that game, wheel it out, and then you bring in another game, and it's easy to set up for the cameras, and so you can chug through, 5 or 6 games in a session.
Oh, nice. Because I remember you saying on the first one it was a whole different procedure, and you were just kind of getting your feel for everything and going from table to table and what was available. And this sounds like you really had it down for the second and the last one. Well, we'll talk about that at some point. What's is that a space heater?
Yes.
It's cold, eh?
So, if you're from Southern California and someone says, come out to Pittsburgh or whatever in the winter, and so you show up, we showed up wearing shorts, but,
that's even better.
In 20-degree, but the space heater helps.
Oh, you showed up in wow. Somebody could have been like, yo, at least bring pants and a jacket. Like a big one.
Yeah, we're not that dumb, but it was, that was whatever's comfortable.
Right.
And then here's, okay. Let me adjust. That's the camera setup. So totally MacGyvered, as it were.
Oh, that's cool though. They're all on a unipole, okay, or something. That's hard to tell. It's a. Here, let me make that a little bigger for everyone because I don't even have.
I call that a pedestal. So it's a pedestal mount, so almost coaxial. Let me see. And let me see that one. Oh, I think they're mounted. That's a little ball mount you see on the bottom of the small camera. So the whole thing you just kind of set up for the table you're on, adjust the ball mount quickly. So when you realize how long it takes to shoot a game and then multiply by however many games and however many days you have, it's kind of an assembly line. So one thing
I was just gonna ask how long I didn't mean to interrupt, but how long did it take to go through all that?
3 days. Yeah, really? We were there for 3 days, and we had a list of games, and then you do one. And like I said, sometimes you're shooting a game, and then something happens. Switch doesn't work right. A light goes out. Something's flipper gets out of adjustment. Well, you can't use that game.
Right. Yeah.
You pull it out, you grab the next one.
That seems just fast. I would have, I don't know, thought longer. I guess I underestimate how damn good of a pinball player, good pinball player is. Oh my.
That's the other thing is, if you got the rule set in your head, you just sit down and say, okay, I'll do this and I'll do that. And that's what he does. Proceed to go and, exercise the rules. And for something specific, you can just, the glass is off and you can just set up, you hit the switches and the things and you set up a specific mode and then you can show that.
Right.
So, in case you feel like making your own video, it's a bit of work.
Yeah, it seems like it. I think I'll wait to see if you come out with another one. I'm kind of hoping, I'm praying for this. I got this little delusion going about an AC/DC and Iron Maiden one. Save me work.
There is gameplay, I do believe, of AC/DC. Unfortunately, you have to be careful on YouTube, especially, is if there's a music pin. Guess what happens?
Oh yeah.
You'll be playing an AC/DC and there's AC/DC coming out of the pin, and YouTube may block it or
just
say
you down.
A copyright notice. Would you like to substitute elevator music for the AC/DC?
I forget that because when I actually play AC/DC on Twitch, I have to put it through a separate music audio thing so I don't get dinged and muted.
Yeah. And that takes some
all
of the fun out of the game.
Right. That's why we need the video.
Well, yeah. if you want to describe, or let me see.
Copy wrong. Amen. Copy left. Copy right.
I don't know if I can show that. Yes, some of these. No, this is mostly text. For example, I'm looking at a Star Trek guide.
Ooh.
Well, if I do this, I don't know if it shows up on your. This is a PDF. Yeah, it looks not that one.
Let's see.
Yeah, you probably can't read that. So, Star Trek Next Generation. So, pinball.org, I think they're still around. And so this goes on. Yeah, okay, so that gets kind of. Yeah, so that video was 11 or 12 minutes long. It's called Grinding Through. I don't know if it was comprehensive. It also depends what ROM you're using. So, and all of these that are on the DVD, I think all but maybe one or two, they're on YouTube. And the timeline, if I'm getting it correctly, is at the end of 2012, we were at Papa, recorded a bunch of stuff. We also had done a couple other game shoots, not at Papa. But I think the majority of the ones on the Pinball 102 are from Papa. And then I think I spent all of 2013 editing, not daily or, it's just, that was it. And by 2014, I finally had got some stuff I put on YouTube.
All right.
And then by around 2015, I see my notes that I think Lethal Weapon 3 was the last one I worked on. And part of that is because I had to go to an arcade around here to find the tri-ball display, because Lethal Weapon 3 was using the multi-ball text.
Okay.
And I think Williams or Bally, one of those guys, there was some, hey, that's a copyrighted term. And it's like, I had no idea. And so they came up with tri-ball. It took me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
one of those things you find out. Yeah.
Sure. Just to kind of discover like that. No, that's not. That's a tissue, not a Kleenex.
Yeah. So that was kind of hokey. And then
no doubt.
So yeah, they're put on YouTube, and then I didn't do much with them. I think we were working on the Archer pinball. And then a couple years later, someone's asking, hey, did you make a DVD out of that? And I'm all, no, I don't plan to.
Right.
It's a bit more work. And if you're actually fabricating the DVD, you have to, not only make the disc, but then you have to get it replicated. And so you send it out, and you got to pay $1, $2
just on the inside. Like, definitely the discs are nice. I don't think I've ever showed anyone what they actually look like.
Oh yeah, that's an actual DVD.
Yeah.
The and somebody said, oh, there's disc on demand places you can use, so that's why Pinball 102 comes from Kanaki. So
right on, like you just press it right there and just right from a file.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Disc on demand, I think they're called. Oh yeah. That's
the last one.
So that's
I'll show it in a minute.
Yeah, that's the boring timeline. So
that's really rapid. I mean, to be honest, that's pretty rapid. With 2 years, 3 years, and you were done. I mean, the first one, didn't that take quite a bit longer?
Yeah, on and off, it took 2 years. The Pinball Collector actually did a speed run on that because that is a pinball museum, or he was pushing for one, and so all the games were there, and I just had to show up, although it's rather cramped. And then we shot gameplay, and nothing was real complicated. And then it was just getting some of the history on the games and putting together a script and getting that done. It's still a lot of work.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, did you include any Easter eggs? Somebody was just saying something about the best Easter eggs are in Star Trek TNG.
That I do believe one of the ones, like playing poker with Riker or whatever. There's one at the end where you can play Breakout if you hit the right codes.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if that's available in all the ROM versions. If you read the guide, there's a sequence. You hit right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I don't know, Morse coded or something.
Sure. Up, down, left, right. Sure.
And Williams guys were famous for putting stuff in, like the cows or something.
Yeah. So, I've only seen a few, and they were on modern VPX ones, but yeah, I'd like to go back and start to check that out. That's really interesting. Just to, I don't know, they're cute, they're fun. But Breakout's really cool. I mean, that's a hell of an Easter egg. That's not, it's not just a little pop up with like, hi, this was produced by, hi, Jolene. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Some bored software engineers trying to get their stuff in there.
Right. Will you marry me?
That's probably, the hardcore players. That was probably some of the folklore they had. They knew the secret codes, but once they went out and documented them, now we all know.
Right.
In case you can find
it's so changed. That blows my mind to think that like I just didn't realize that they didn't tell you the rule set. I mean, that's why some of them, I guess, are so hard to find them. Like a couple tables, I'm like looking, and I can't find nothing, and not easily anyway. I'm sure it's out there, but that explains a lot to me. I mean, I'm coming in at pretty new. I mean, played pinball for years, but like to really deep dive into it and to get more like real interested in the machine production. One of the best things in the Pinball 101 is there's this beautiful scene with all these the electronics from the EM tables. It's gorgeous. Anyway.
Speaking of how to play, so this I think is a black hole manual.
Oh, nice.
Somebody could correct me on that. If you're lucky enough to find one of these or borrow one, notice it's for a simple game. Somebody did bother to write a manual, and in case you're buying one, I don't know if you can read it.
Let me see if I can get this back up.
And this stuff you'll find online, or maybe the internet pinball database. So, you don't have to zoom in to read it all the way, but this is. Oh yeah. So that's an example of what you can find if you know where to look or if you're interested. Well, not for black hole, but that's and for most of us, it's like, okay, you've got the basics, but when you're fighting the ball, you're in a tournament or in a club tournament, and you're sweating out a low score, you might forget a couple things, or you're more concerned with just, I'm trying not to drain, don't tell me about the reverse flip into the
right into that shot I'm gonna drain on.
And then but then you'll sometimes play somebody that knows what they're doing, and you watch and say, hey, how'd he score all that? And most of the players
doing one ball challenges just to like get myself disciplined enough. We just started doing it recently, a couple of us, just to get disciplined enough to figure that out, to figure out what is really like, how can you get that quickly, like, so the rules, I mean, they're hard to figure out. I like to try to, though. I think that's kind of fun. I almost kind of wish they were hidden now, like completely. I mean, because it's kind of fun to try to figure it out on your own. I'm kind of reluctant to read the rule sets, and they're long.
Well, if you're going back to tournament play history, there was a time when the players would show up at the Papa facility, and then here's a new game from Stern.
Oh, thank you. We just got that put up in the channel.
And nobody's played it yet, or it's only been on a certain couple locations, and to trick you all, we're gonna put this in rotation, and you guys figure it out.
Right, go hunt the table.
So you have to watch the player before you to see what they did to score.
Right.
But some of that I view as like when you watch the Penn and Teller show, and they'll say, this is how we're going to do a magic trick. And then you watch them do it, and you're still, I don't know what he did. How did he do that?
Yeah, right. Like, you go try it at home, you're like, no, it's what?
So even if you know the game rules, sometimes achieving them is a different matter.
Oh, yeah. That's how I was saying, too, about the AC/DC is like, if I can even get to some of these modes, like, and get far and deep enough into it, I'll find out if I'm a good enough player.
Well, yeah, it's a learning process.
Amen. It's a lot
Or
of
like my
fun.
brother says, is the rule sets nowadays are so deep you can't remember all of them. So you may have a cheat sheet on your phone when you go to a tournament. You have to look up the specific game you're stuck with. Get the
Refresh
highlights.
that old memory. Yeah, right.
Yeah, get the quick scoring highlights.
Yeah, because I was wondering, yeah. When did they start getting like that? Is that a new development that they've gotten that deep? Or is that like, it seems like something from the 90s and the 2000s changed when it like dipped and then came back. I don't know if that's just...
I'm sure there's discussion on who started the deep rule set. Just, from looking at some of the games that we have here, they're old 90s, early 2000s maybe.
I think it was a Data East Tales from the Crypt had a fairly deep rule set, but I didn't know, how deep that is in comparison to a modern deep rule set. Still hadn't looked into that completely. But yeah, some of the older Data East machines I was hearing started getting complicated.
Yeah, well, I know Star Trek is, but maybe they're competing. Yeah, I'm thinking when the home use, essentially games were being bought by people with their basement collections. Right. That's when rule sets started to get a little deeper because somebody buys what was then maybe a $5,000 or $6,000 game, and then they beat on it all winter, and they're all okay, I'm bored with it. But if you put in a possibly escalating rule set, you challenge the home player to, we dare you, to
finish this one.
Spend 25 minutes setting it up and then see if you can score the big jackpot.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, there you go. 25 minutes setting it up and then drain.
Let me show you. Let me see. Here's
good times. Some have a minimum IQ requirement. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe please take this test first.
I'll get back to some video. This is a game that's not on there. Ooh. What I'm showing you though is our camera setup, and then this is what a rough edit would look like. So if you want to do this on your own, and you'll see me clap my hands. That just synchronizes the cameras to the gameplay. No. Let me see. Can you hear this? I'm going to turn it on. No, I don't know. Can you hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear fine. Some reason my mic went away or something.
Oh.
It is back. More hangout takes. Right on.
Oh, yeah.
But he was saying some minimum IQ requires. That's pretty funny. Just me. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not the important one.
Okay. So,
I was going to ask about the DM. The 3-camera setup a second ago. I think it might have happened, when I did a Control C or something on accident. I killed my own mic.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, it's okay. It happened.
Actually, we would use 4 cameras. So one gets the play field from the player's perspective. One gets the DMD, and one gets the overhead, and then another one is usually
so clean. Like you did it it just looks so clean. Like you did it with like OBS. That's what I guess caught my eye is like how clean it came out.
Oh no! Let me see. Here's
no, it's not as clean as you think. It looked clean to me. I was like, if you're using OBS, I'm trying to figure this out here. I'm like, that's a little predate that, but
okay,
for studio software. Oh, getting geeky.
All you editors out there, this is a real basic temp. This is what your timeline will look like, and that's just for the basic stuff. So If you ever want to do it yourself, yeah, you're going to run into some very tedious work, as I call it.
Right.
So, yeah, you start out with the 3 or 4 cameras, and then you put it all together, add annotation, do the narration, any music or whatnot. That's why it takes you a while. And if you look on the YouTubes, people usually don't do that because, as I found out, it's time consuming. And some people they do say, oh, here's some skills, I'm going to cover a game, and then they put it on YouTube, and then they realize they're doing it for fun, no money.
Right.
Like they say, if you know, you want to make money in pinball, you start out with $1 million and
work your way
put it in the
back.
bank, and don't invest in pinball.
Right.
So on the Papa
I was actually
tutorials,
asking somebody, one of the major pinball players, when I first started. I'm like, yeah, it's between me. What do you make doing this? Can you live off it? They laughed at me.
it's like playing golf.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you can hustle at the arcade,
right. Yeah.
You win a lot of dollars, a lot of Tommy dollars.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, one thing about Papa was, if you look in their history, in 2004 they were flooded. There's a creek nearby, and they had all these games, and then a bunch of water came into the building. So a bunch of their games, unfortunately, got damaged. And they did all sorts of, you can read online what they did and try to salvage playfields. But Bubba and Hank went underneath, and they got to go through some of the catacombs. So I'll show some of that.
Oh, awesome. Good. There's been so much Hank.
Okay.
I've been holding off even mentioning it, but I know you know.
This is a long cut. There's some of this on the YouTubes already. But all right, I'll let it play.
Let's go.
Look at these games here. Let's fix it up. Yes. Let's check out the rest of the games. Play Sugar Sweet. Ooh, yeah. No, this is kind of a chain game like Bubba likes. Other than Mr. Hey, you're in the Papa facilities. I expected it to be a little prettier than this, but this is sure good enough. Look at all these here games they got. Just need a little elbow grease. Some Hank's tips will fix them up real pretty like. Dirt on, that's all. Other than a bit of rewiring. Heck, you can make cable in like an afternoon watching the ball game. Kind of with me.
Oh my God! Look at all those.
Where to start? This is like Santa Claus dropped off a bunch of games.
That's what I thought.
All these games just need a little bit of fixing up. You good to go. Look at these guys. Them circuit boards are still good. A little bit of dirt never hurt. Clean up real nice, like just put a little bit of shine guard on.
Oh, that's
good. All right. That was our cousin Hank in the catacombs.
Right. Oh, I think I lost me. That's all right. We're gonna try it like this. Ah. Meow, 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 meow. 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 Alright. We're back. That's good enough. But, I was just fixing shit again. I'm always tweaking it. No, I mean, yeah, Hank is fire. I mean, Miles, the person that turned me on. I gotta give a big shout out to him because he turned me back onto pinball. We started he won't score chase with me anymore. He needs to, but he turned me back onto pinball. He turned me onto Rocket League, got me playing games again. Yada yada yada. Turned me onto your video. So thank you very much, Mr. Miles Lasco. You're fucking awesome, bro. And we were, just having a good time gaming and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know. Pinball's been like a really big boon. I've not had so much fun playing a game since friggin' Rocket League, and I'm majorly passionate about that. So I'm interested to seeing what I can do when I finally get into some tournaments, but I need to go buy me a stool. I'm getting old. I need one of those pop-up stools he was using. Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you're spending a lot of time in front of a game, your feet will get sore, or your fingers.
Yeah, the fingers a little bit, but I don't know about kicking the tables and anything fancy like that. I was like, wow, yeah, some strength behind
Not allowed.
them. They are. Oh, it's not allowed, thankfully. Oh my gosh, they're made of steel. I'm like, you ain't kicking that. Like, you guys, wow. I was like, I didn't realize how hard a pinball table leg could be. Think it'd be a piece of wood or something. I'm all naive. I'm like, they make them all like. I went right after I got back from the arcade. I'm like, do they make them all like this, or are they just trying to screw with me? I'm reinforcing them so I can't do it. They're like, no, they're like that. That's normal. I'm like, oh, all right, I am old. So be it. Oh no, did we leave? Or I thought we lost you.
Now I'm tuning into the Twitch to look at some of your followers are asking strange things.
Are asking
Hank outtakes. I do have the missing Hank episode.
Ooh.
So our cousin Hank, if you look on the Pinball 101 website, there's a list of Hank's tips, and number 10 is skipped.
Oh.
And there's a technical reason for that I can't get into. But I may have found it. But I don't have it with me. I'm sorry.
I knew it. Oh.
You have to wait for some other time.
Oh, the biggest tease ever. Interview 3. Oh. It just... Hank and Special Collection. I know it's not. But it is forever now, the Special Collection to me.
We'll see you later.
Oh, yeah, it is 2 o'clock. Oh my lord, yeah. Have we really been on that long?
Oh, no.
No, it's only been an
Get rid
hour.
of everybody so Randy can show me.
Oh, you're kicking everyone out. All right, it's like, whoa, is our time up? I'm like, I thought we had an hour at least. I'm like, wow, she's shooing everyone away.
Just kidding, everybody.
Bad mod, bad co-host. Oh boy. But yeah, that was with some of the major questions was obviously the Hank. Well, like Pants was saying, I was gonna say earlier, he said he didn't know. So many people don't know that like Hank's like what's going on with that. Like I didn't realize how many people like take that at face value, like that's a person. Like he didn't know. Somebody else I was talking to had no idea. So I think we're blowing up your scene a little bit. But I think the Hank thing is genius. I know it was a goof. In the pinball tables, the hardcore thing is way more valuable, but it's still pretty hilarious. And I think it does a lot for the game. I don't know. This is my choice.
Well, yeah, Hank's retired.
Oh.
So I heard, or he's living in Bubba's basement at the trailer park. So.
All right, I'm taking a sabbatical for maybe permanent vacation.
That's right. The Golden
Well,
Girls
looks like
pinball table.
Randy's got a question in the chat.
Interesting. Yeah, I see that. Will you be making a tutorial for the Golden? Yeah, Randy just saw that too.
Golden Girls. I never watched the show. I know about it.
Is it really going to be a Golden Girls pinball? Or is that's not a joke, is it? Is that real? Is he fucking with us? See, I don't know well enough.
I think somebody's making a conversion kit to take that James Bond 60 anniversary and convert it into a Golden Girls.
Right on.
Yeah, a lot of people are with. A lot of people want to do that.
Nice. Yeah, Golden Girls. I really like that show. I don't care. I watch the crap out of it. I'll admit it. I watch the crap out of Golden Girls.
Oh, I will not be able to answer any questions about Golden Girls. I never watched the show.
Yeah, and Friends neither, I imagine. Laundry Day is a possibility too.
What is Laundry Day?
I'm not sure. Is that a TV show? I'm not sure.
Somebody's gonna have to explain that.
Yeah. You old pinball. What you think of there? Keith's idea for a pin. All right on. Laundry Day. Interesting. Somebody's very up on Keith's work. He's got one of his ideas for a pin. Interesting. That'd be, interesting departure too, because that'd be totally original, away from any themes. Like it's its own little project. I'd like to see something like that. On a more serious note, yeah.
Oh, they put pinballs at the laundromat, so you're waiting for your clothes to dry. you flip a few games.
Wish it was still true. I don't know. I'd be going to the laundromat a lot more. Oh my. I'm just hoping I got a bowling alley next to me. I went over there and asked for a pinball, and they looked at me like I had freaking two heads. They said, "You ain't been here a while." I said, "Yeah, but I live across the street. I can't bowl anymore." I was like, "But I remember you used to have pinball machines." "You ain't been here a long while." That was like 10, 12 years ago. I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm not. All right, bye. I'll get going. It was just weird. No pinball. I was like, huh, I guess thing of the past. But not so much. I mean, I just went up to Binghamton. They got like 21 machines. I don't know. It's making a great comeback. So I'm hoping my little town catches on. That's what I'm trying to say. Speaking of laundromats and pinball.
Yeah, I was looking for some of
It's Granny Panty. Yeah, that's funny. Granny Panty Motorball. Why not? That's interesting.
Granny
Was not
Panty.
privy. It's got to come off a double brazier slingshot somehow.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Yeah, we had a local location here. I know the operator, and COVID kind of shut them down, but the games were still there. And then I think they changed owners, reopened, and his games were gone. It's like, oh. And I asked him about that, and he says, yeah, they didn't want to have a game room anymore. And it was the last local one.
Right. Yeah, the closest table to me is like, maybe if it's there. It says it's there, but that doesn't mean it's there, you know? This is a pinball map, so it could be gone by now. And COVID just wiped out shit that was even solid stuff, so I don't even know. But I know, well, 45 minutes I can play a few tables. Half of them work, maybe. So it's hit or miss. I got to figure out which ones they actually keep maintained and play those ones. But they had some really nice ones at Twilight Zone. I was always stoked to see it in the video, the Twilight Zone. I'm going to go back and be watching that for sure. That was mad helpful.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Chicago Gaming making the Cactus Canyon remake.
Oh yeah, someone did mention that. Did I?
I saw that at Chicago Expo, but there was such a long line. They had 2, 3, or 4 games, I forget, and I wasn't willing to wait in line to play it. But it's very colorful, and I think the rules were fleshed out a little better. But I haven't seen anything since then. If it's actually in production or they produced a limited amount. So I like the game, the original one, and there was a hardware set you could get, the Cactus Canyon Continued, that somebody on their own put in the P-Rock system and then wrote a bunch of code.
Okay.
And I know my brother had that installed in his Cactus Canyon and was playing it, but working out some of the bugs. But it was fun, to play something that somebody had modified. But
I've seen just a tad bit of. I've seen the word associated with pinball. That's about it. The P-Rock. So I don't know. So, would you maybe explain what a P-Rock is?
That's the multimorphic. There's a board set for homebrew games.
Okay.
If you want to build your own.
Okay.
So yeah, you can search it up easily.
Oh yeah. That's all I needed to know. That's plenty right there. Yeah. That's
pinball remote.
Awesome.
Yeah, pinball remote operations.
Oh, it's the controller logic for pinball. Okay, straight up. All right, I understand that. That makes sense to me. We're good. Yeah, I know what that is.
So
controller
if you don't
pinball logic.
Although I don't know what you can do with the modern Sterns if you don't like the rule sets. I don't think you can somehow hack into the node controller and do your own. I don't think that's feasible, but for the older games, you can redo them, retheme them. Oh, somebody says they're...
right.
They're protecting the Stern ROMs.
Right.
Yeah, that's
like Sierra back in the day or everyone else.
Oh.
They are now. Huh, when did that practice come in, do you know, Marty? It's interesting.
Well, if you have a license in your 5 tables ago. Oh, okay. Well,
that's really
somebody knows that. Yeah, if you have licensed material too, usually you have to make an effort to prevent the licensed material from escaping your device as part of your license agreement. So you just can't have a list of files that you plug in a USB and then somebody downloads on their laptop. Says, hey, look, I copied it. Yeah, and there used to be ways of adding music to the libraries, but I'm not sure if that's still available now.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd probably go into a folder, modify things, and rename them the same or something of that nature.
Or add additional songs to it. Like if you have an AC/DC and you're tired of the same 13 or 14 or whatever songs, and you want to add a playlist, turn your.
I think did they do that in the the VPX version of it? I think they might have actually done a jukebox on it. I'm not sure. Pin sound. Oh, you can replace songs with pin sound. Interesting.
So I wonder if that's also it prevents VFX from swiping the game ROMs to make virtual copies.
Oh, by the way, allow me to introduce Gamecom Central is Marty, aka Schmog. He kind of got VPN Hub started. Marty, Randy, Marty, if you haven't been formally introduced yet now. There you go.
Okay.
So that's who that is in the channel. Yeah, he knows quite a bit. He said he just did a deep dive last year. He's been doing quite a bit of interviews with some of the VPX creators, doing the remix of the tables and coming out with original tables, doing some interviews with some of the people like Joe Picasso, Herbsky, different artists that have done recreations of some of the popular tables. And yeah, it's really nice, so that way we get the rest of us get a chance to play the tables. Because there'd be no ever loving way I'd get the chance to find out half of them. They're even close to me. Oh, you're right. Those are the tribute tables. Amen. And they are. Batman 66, yeah, Iron Maiden, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
Well, I think last one might be a mix. One of them's a mix hybrid table. Yeah, I see. I was looking for tables that we might have done that Keith had handed, but. Do you have a question? Oh, sorry.
So along the same vein of Pinball 102 and a virtual pin, has anyone modified a virtual pin to put tutorial prompts in it? Yeah, so you can say load up like the ones we showed, one of the ones we showed, like a black hole, and does it have a tutorial mode where little prompts show up and says, hey, to do your bonus multiplier, hit down here, do this, do that. And so it at least you're able to extract some rules from the gameplay without having a physical game in your garage, as it were.
Yeah, definitely. Right, and the ability to then instruct others with it. Yeah, it's a lot easier than having to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, although analog looks nice.
Doesn't look. I was gonna say. I was just about to say that. It just doesn't. It doesn't look as good. And the first tricks on the Pinball 101, for those who haven't seen it, I was super entertaining. The little mini car is fire. It's like it's a highlight for sure. Dryer, I was just like, yeah.
Because likewise, you can put tutorials on the modern games, the physical games. So I'm not sure if they're. I've seen a little bit where they just maybe put a couple of skill moves or something, or maybe it's a home ROM setting. So
yeah,
you can.
Saying a buddy of ours, MP3 TK, does it on his live stream, and he does the arrows and the whatnot, just draws right on the screen as he's going through, and he's trying to explain said table. He's got a lot of live tables too in there. I've analog. He's a pretty entertaining guy. Manu, friend of the stream.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's one thing to if you can practice it, it's one thing to say, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. Now go do it. And then 3 days later, let me see that again. How does that work?
Rewind.
Yeah, doing it under pressure. Yeah, that's why we play for fun.
Right on. Yeah, yeah.
Have to give a shout out to the homies at the San Diego Pin Club and friends of Kyle. If they're doing his Critical Hit Biggest Loser tournament today.
Is that today? I just learned about this, and I was told to definitely check this out, that I would love it. Critical Hit tournament, because we were talking about sabotaging each other or something.
Is it live streamed?
I don't know, but I imagine it would be.
I went to it last year, and oh man, I think after 8 hours, I was beat.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's a long day for anyone.
It's a fun tournament, if you call it a tournament. But the format of they use Magic the Gathering cards, and you can get. Everyone gets a couple of cards, and each one has a certain play. And
yeah, I didn't quite fully understand the whole gist of the thing. I just a week ago heard about it. Joe, so we were talking about just messing with each other's games and on streaming. Like, should I make it so everyone can mess with each other on the tournament? Like, you can steal your neighbor's score or something malicious like that. And I thought it might be fun. And everyone was like, no. But then he's like, yeah, you got to check out Critical Hit. I was like, all right. So they use Magic the Gathering cards to determine your play style or handicaps or?
They're just could be in game or whatever. For example, I was playing a match. You know, you're playing with four people in a match, and I think it was a new Jurassic Park, and I was actually doing well. And I had multi-ball all lined up. I'm all, oh, I can finally do something on this game. And this kid comes up with the card. He says, oh, critical hit. Step away from the flippers. I'm all, what? And I'm looking at it. And his dad is all looking at me. Oh, sucks to be you.
Welcome to the game.
Yep, so it's kind of a leveling device for
yeah,
that,
no,
so.
I like that. I like that. We've been trying to figure out a handicapping system, all right? Actually, you know, there's some damn good players that show up once in a while on these streams, and, you know, we like to try to bring it all a little bit closer.
Yeah,
we haven't been able to figure it out yet, but that might be a good way to do it.
Yeah,
not me. I'm not the threat. I wish. Sometimes.
Yeah. So it you know, it's not you getting crushed by really good players, but everyone. It's a kind of a leveling, a little bit random, but
it sounds fun.
It's entertaining, or it can be.
It sounds fun. It sounds right up my alley. I'm stoked about that. Where are they throwing this?
In my case, it's one of the local.
Oh, so it's done in multiple locations at the same time?
Yeah, it's usually not a public event, or it's limited, because if you're at someone's house, there's only so much room.
Oh, so it's like a house ball thing then. Also,
somebody has to host it.
Oh, okay. So it is house ball.
Yeah,
that's
or
cool.
If you're at a location that's got games like
okay, I see what you're saying. So it can be one or the other, but somebody has to host it. All right, and they do it all on the same day.
Yeah, you're gonna need a handful of games just to get going.
Right.
But yeah, one of the interesting things, since it just came to, I just remembered, is the last time I went, is somebody there had this nice camera rig set up to, you know, show you the table and the score and that, and it was, I think it had totally wireless. I don't think it was Wi-Fi, but a wireless transmitter. And I'm looking at that and go, God, I could have used that, 10 years ago.
Hell yeah, right. We were talking about that in the first interview. You have like the concept, like the evolution of the rack, because there was none when you were doing it, and like then it's evolved into, and then somebody got the brilliant idea we can just use a clothing rack. I was like,
the clothes rack. But you look at some of the diagrams I showed earlier in you've got a stand in front and one overhead, and then you have some good lights. And
makes me wonder when the last time this place did a tournament actually saw a setup. Maybe that scared him. The old school setup. Because he was like, it's very intrusive. I'm like, it's really not that bad. But now that you say what you said, maybe it used to be that bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe in future I'll show you some of our early tourney cam. Because we help promote videoing pinball play in that way.
Okay.
And trying to get it online, and I did do a data dump, or a video dump, on our Pinball 101 channel recently. I was going through some archives, and it's like,
okay, we have to check back up that.
Well, if you like watching tournament play.
I do, but I do. So
$1,000. Yeah, Logitech 3-camera setup. Yeah. Oh man.
How? Did I hear that right?
Or you just recruit a couple people with phones and have them hold still.
The
players, yeah, they're good, but players may get irritated that there's people standing next to them. But
ask permission first. Oh, let's mute that. I just grabbing the website real quick for anyone who may not feel like looking it up.
Yeah.
You guys go.
Oh, there I am.
Oh,
Let me
cool.
see. That's my Archer clock.
All right, I was wondering what that was. Yeah, I see. I think I know Archer pretty well, but I guess I don't. But I do love me some Archer. That was one thing I was so happy that Faye likes it too. I was like, oh yes. He doesn't like South Park because of the animation, but it's just the animation. It's not the humor. So she can't get over that they're just little cardboardies. I'm like, but that was the genius. They had no money. And she's like, I don't care. It looks like kids did it. I'm like, whatever. You're right.
Somebody's asking what my favorite table.
Ooh, right on. Yeah, I see that.
Really, I think Archer was my favorite.
Yeah, that's the one I was a little bated breath on. Would it be all right? Would it be possible to? How much is that possible? The Archer thing. I know we discussed it briefly, and I know there's proprietary. So if it's not possible, we totally understand. But if it ever is,
there's some stuff I can show that from development, because if it's a whitewood and all that.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see.
If you just want to see some early development of an actual pin, it's a lot better than in real time, where it takes you a year or so. But if you condense it down into 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, well, right. Oh, the golden moments. But yeah, I mean, and it's hard to find any of the information. Like I went to go try to find out maybe old podcasts with Keith in it, or you in it, or anyone, and some of them are gone because like the format's changed. You know what I mean? Like you'll be on this and that platform's gone. And it's like, if you're lucky, it got put on the Wayback Machine and got archived. But it's unfortunate, like a lot of this stuff gets lost by the wayside because that technology keeps changing.
Oh yeah, that's probably why you don't see streaming version of Pinball 101 right now. It was out there and it went by the wayside.
Right.
But if you have a DVD player, or I can loan you one for my collection.
Right. I got a small collection going too, actually.
Or,
you can let them go.
I'll have to transfer it to VHS or something. Yeah, now
Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah. Now I've lost my stream of thought. Whatever I was talking about.
Oh, Archer.
The Archer. Yeah,
What's your favorite table?
Actually, I liked Black Hole for whatever. I used to have a Black Hole in my house way back in the day, but videoing it was a challenge with the little basement play field, and in making well, that reminds me, I was trying to do a test. So when you author a DVD, if you've ever played a DVD and you've got, like, say, an alternate audio track.
Okay.
So, like Spanish, Japanese, or whatever, is pretty common. There's also an alternate video track you can have available, which I don't know if I've ever seen in a like a regular production or a movie. So, and I'm not sure how well it integrates, but I experimented way back in the day of having alternate video tracks. So you have gameplay, say, down low, you hit the button on the control and it flips you to the overhead view while you're doing that.
Okay.
And I remember experimenting with Black Hole on some DVDs, making them to see how well that would work. You know, if you're doing gameplay and you say, well, I want to look at it from this side rather than having, 3 screens partitioned in front of you. I think it will, it worked, but at least in my setup, every time I went to switch, it would kind of like replay the chapter. So it wasn't a smooth operation. And now I consider a DVD kind of a obsolete technology.
Right.
But,
yeah. That's true. I mean, like we were saying earlier, even David Lynch uses phones to record his videos. I mean, if a well-known producer can take an iPhone and be like, yo, this is better than the cameras I was using before, I'm like, that says something about the iPhone. Like, wow. Some of the newer Camera 3 models, I don't know, we have one that's pretty spectacular.
I don't.
Right on. We just got one. We've had it for a minute, but we got it for the cameras. Actually got it for the cameras more than anything.
So Randy, I'm
yes.
gonna harass him because I saw a question. I didn't know if he answered it or not.
Okay, go ahead, please. Harass away.
Yeah. Somebody asked Randy, how is it being more handsome than your brother? And can you tell us something fun about him?
Oh, that's ouch. I'm sorry, Keith.
Something fun. He's turned into a city slicker. He can't handle camping anymore. And I don't know if he's still on this Twitch, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he came to visit last week, and he wanted to go out to the desert, which in Southern California, San Diego area, it's called their Dusty Backyard, but there's a nice state park. Nice meaning if you like open space desert, and it was only I think 85 or 90 by the time we went out there. But where we go camp,
it's pretty dry though, right? The heat.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's not bad. That's not really that bad. 80, 90.
Yeah, it's not a dry heat; it's a hot heat.
Oh, okay. There's because a dry heat wouldn't be too bad, but a hot heat would be kind of shitty.
So, yeah, we've been going out there I've been going out there for a long time, and
for those that are interested, there's actually he has some video up for the public to consume it, and I wanted to go. I didn't have enough time to focus on it because like I started once the trip started getting further into it, like there was some spectacular shots that you guys got from the canyon areas and just going through the mountains.
Oh yeah, it's to digress a little from pinball. If you want to get into nature, from San Diego, it's like an hour away, depending what route you take, and you can go from the beach to the middle of nowhere in the desert in like 2 hours.
Well, that's not bad.
And if you're like, God, remember the old Pin guys? They used to bring their pinball games out in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, and set them up and play them. They had a generator.
That's pretty cool.
Oh God,
nice.
I don't know if I.
They're getting a little Burning Man with it. Going out to Joshua Tree and little Pink Floyd going.
Oh, I don't know if I have one of their videos close by, but
oh my God,
Olympic style events. That's crazy sauce.
Yeah, I was thinking, God, that would be fun to have a pinball tournament out there in the middle of nowhere.
Search for Joshua Tree.
Whoops.
It was funny.
Oh, Joshua Tree, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I activated the phone. It was all interested too.
It never
activates, but it did today. Interesting.
Yeah, so if you wanted to have a challenging pinball tournament, have it in the middle of the desert. But I don't know about what's that, Black Rock? That's the Burning Man.
Yeah, somewhere on Black Rock. I don't know. I tried to get this trust fund girl to once go and take us. If she would rent the vehicle and blah blah blah, we pay for the rest. But it was a no-go. That's an expensive endeavor for a weekend-ish thing. But I mean, it's really, you got to be prepared for that one. I don't know if I'd be going out into the desert myself without equipment. But it looked a lot of fun. That's gonna have to drag them back out.
Something close to that was I don't know if your viewers, but remember the Banning museum, or the Banning Pinball Museum that had the in-disc tournament, and they had it a couple years before they closed down. But in the one side, they had like an old campground, playground yard, and they had a gazebo set up. And there were a couple old pins set up in there in the games that were powered, so you could go play outside, even though it got a little cold. It was the weirdest thing, being out there like 10 p.m. It's dark, and then you hear the chimes of somebody playing an EM game.
Right. I'm trying to picture that. It's got to be a little surreal at some point. Yeah, that's got to be something for a second. Yeah, no doubt. Huh. That is kind of surreal. Very interesting. Wow.
Oh, I'm reading your chat, and somebody said that.
Dorky invents in Colorado every year. I think they put games on different campsites and compete. Oh, I thought he said Dorky. He's a Dory Hill. My apologies. Oh, I can't read today.
Well,
he said, "Don't read chat. We're horrible."
Yeah, it's too far away to read. For what I think would be fun, something similar is I live close to a beach campground, and some of them have power. So if somebody wants to front up, get a little trailer going there, like God, what was the Pacific Pinball Museum? Michael Scheiss? Oh, I'm mispronouncing his name. He had an Airstream trailer with about 6 games in it. He would take to some place. Oh God, that's I haven't thought of that in a long time. Yeah, we need somebody like that to go down to the campground, and assuming we have enough power to power up half a dozen games, then you can have your little campground tournament.
Oh, right. All you need is it's just a neon sign, a small one, even just right outside. It says arcade or pinball. Holy shit.
And and then you have to go out and surf, or a boogie board, or body surf a little and come back, play a few games.
Right. Oh, Jesus. Right. That sounds.
It has to shut down by 10 because that's
we're East Coast. Yeah, it's not the same. Our water's, not even Florida's all that great. It's just the way it is. Somebody asked if you were, if you play digital pinball at all, and if you were excited about the FX release that just happened recently on Steam. It had been on beta on Epic for like a year now, but it just finally came to Steam, and they updated everything, made cab mode work correctly. They gave the Steam people some extra love.
If it works properly and it's easy to set up. That's every time I messed around with it, it was like it took a while to get something substantial to go. And some of the older mechanisms, yeah, I played those. But the newer ones, it was like, well, it's a lot of work involved to get it going. And I think I just would put it aside just out of frustration.
I think it's gotten a lot better in the last just couple of years. I know the pinballer installer now just basically it's an exe file, bam, you're in. The monitor setup now is very simple compared to what it could be. You don't have to do the screen positioning as a drag drop situation. So they tried to simplify it as much as humanly possible. There's still a little bit of that old intimidation factor. At least I had that coming at any of the VPX. But I just was wondering, actually, just the regular just desktop video game pinball put out by Zen FX. Do you play any of that?
I have.
You have. Right on.
Yeah, I haven't played. I played it several years ago, and I had other things, other projects, and other games. So, you cycle through things,
Yeah,
and stuff comes along. You may revisit. The just some other projects I do or I've been working on. It's just I limit what games I play.
Oh no, I can understand that. Yeah.
And how much playtime I have, and but if something if a decent release comes out and it's well received and it gets my attention, then I may investigate and play.
Yeah. I mean, some of the newer tables I got, like Godzilla Twilight Zone, they did My Little Pony, which is actually kind of fun. It's so damn colorful. I hate to love it, but I love it. And then they got Peanuts, which I was underwhelmed by, but I did play that for Christmas because why not? It's Peanuts. And
they have a My Little Brony.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. I even wore my shirt for it. Well, it's not my shirt. It is now. It's been gifted to me. It was my girl's shirt. Now it's my shirt. My little Brony shirt. Yeah, Brony Pinball. It's quite colorful.
I always like Mario Brothers Pinball. Was it Mario World? Which is... Or Punchy the Clown. Is that everyone's favorite?
Punchy the Clown. Oh my god, I'm missing out on some good tables. What are you... Mario? I did not even know. I did see a remake. They did some crazy one on it's called Future Pinball. It's the only one like it. But the one table that is like it, it's off the charts like crazy. It's like they merge video game and pinball perfectly. But it's only just one table. It's got, I think, like Pac-Man and something else. You'd have to see it to really. I'll stream it sometime. I'll send you the clip. It is definitely something to see.
When I was visiting my brother, and he has one of the VR rigs set up, and I was playing Mandalorian in VR, and well, in general, with VR, I get a headache after about an hour, so I can't beat it. But it's that game had the special obstacle of the cat biting your ankles if you moved a certain way, which is very unnerving. So you're trying to focus on your game and something's biting your ankles if you shuffle wrong. But it's an interesting take. I don't know. Well, if you view it as a video game that's playing pinball, it's fun.
Yeah, I think you're coming along with it. I have the it's a FX2 in VR. It's got 6 tables. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. I think in the next maybe 10 years, let AR get a chance to do its thing. Let the Google Glass Dork thing fade out, and I think we'll be in business with some new kind of gaming, for sure.
Well, how about the augmented reality?
Yeah.
Okay, so where you have a physical table, doesn't have to be dimensionally accurate, but it's something that you can hold and shake. Then it's got the retro-reflective coating on it, and then through your goggles, you can project a table. So you see a table coming out of your physical entity. So instead of a TV screen, and then it tracks your head to give you the 3D effect. And then it's a table you can actually kind of move around, and when you move it, it responds a certain way.
Right, because it'll be tracked one-to-one with the
so that'll combine a little more physical aspect with your shaking or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and the possibilities that opens up for people to make them more affordable, that you could get like a blank pinball table that would have different things you could set up on it, and whatever. You probably wouldn't even need to even do that. And just play. You just need like a special, like you said. So I don't know. I'm hoping 10 years maybe. Yeah, if we're fortunate. Maybe I'm being optimistic there, but I'm pretty sure it will be ubiquitous though. I mean, ubiquitous to the cell phone.
Well, a mini cell phone. Yeah.
Yeah. I never wanted one. I own 2, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I've gone through so many. They just sit in the drawer as they die.
Yeah, I have a shelf behind me with a collection of old phones. So
yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to work on them in the software world, and so you'd end up collecting them as it were, or pre-production models. But yeah, they look like little kid toys now. But I miss buttons on phones.
Right. That's pretty amazing, though.
You could dial while, not even looking.
And I've even seen people come back with different makers come back with a retro style phone because people are just kind of sick of like I just want a phone. Just kind of don't want it to be this. Can we pair them out?
Yeah, a flip phone, but I used a flip phone for the longest time, and I inadvertently dropped it in a cup of coffee while I was driving.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah, I did that. I had a little tiny. Oh, where is it? Hold on a second. It's my replacement. So I'm all happy when they came out. I'm like, oh, I got a little tiny drone. I'm showing my folks. I'm like, look at them flying around the living room. Put it right in the cup of coffee. I could never have landed it in a coffee, but it was perfect landing. Didn't even touch the sides.
I was taking I think I was taking my kid to school one morning, and I set my coffee cup in a center console. I don't know what I was doing, but all I know is the phone fell in there, and then it didn't want to work so well after that.
No rice could fix it. Did you try rice to fix it? I was getting on the rice.
I do have a sodium. Oh, I forget what you call it. It is a desiccant.
Right.
And I have fixed kid stuff, kid electronics with that, where you microwave it to heat it up, then you put the thing in there for a couple of days.
Right, and hope it sucks enough moisture out and didn't damage it.
Or if it's chocolate milk, then the buttons get sticky.
It works on chocolate milk. That's good to know. That's I would think that would be effed. That'd be the end of it.
Along the same lines of people with newer cars, and they have the center console with the touch, and you're supposed to be able to drive your car without looking away from the road, and then activate something or turn on the heat or something like that. And
I've seen on some of them, on my mom's Jeep, it says the little warning comes up in the very beginning that you shouldn't be looking at this and that you acknowledge that this is probably a bad idea, but you're going to go ahead with this anyway. Do you agree to that? Great, let's do it. I'm like, wow, that's a hell of a weird warning.
I don't see why they don't use AI to voice activate a little hand that comes out, pushes the screen.
All right.
I mean,
let them get. They'll get there. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to even start our cars without fucking subscription model soon. So it's going kind of wonky. Watch out, Mercedes-Benz people.
Oh boy. Well, anyone have more questions?
Yeah.
Since the
we have veered out of pinball world. I want to implant it into my brain. Eventually, that's another holy grail, right? Just the chip in the brain and just think your way to your electronics. They're working. Well, I know Elon's trying, but he messed up some monkeys.
Yeah, if you drive in Texas and hit a tree, you will implant your phone in your brain.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The only ticket my mom's gotten in the last 10 years is texting and driving. I was downloading a picture.
Oh.
I'm like, that's a great defense, Mom. It's great defense. That's what you told them.
Somebody asked about my favorite digital pinball tables. I have to say Time Shock.
Oh, nice.
That's probably one of the best ones made. I have a disc of it around here somewhere, or my kids had it, so I haven't seen it in a long time. They were playing it a while ago. And yeah, Time Shock, I remember. And then there was the the travel one. They had the same company that made it. That was pretty fun too. But I always liked Time Shock, and it played really well, especially on our crappy Windows 98 games.
Right on. Oh, yeah, you reminded me they're coming out with a new Xenomorph second one. I got to check out. Speaking of old pinball from the 98 kind of style, it's like one of those. But anyway, somebody asked also, no, top 5. What's the best set of rules for a beginner to start learning on, in your opinion?
Find a wood rail. They're easy. Avoid the gobble hole. God, yeah, when my brother lived around here, he had a slick chick, which I absolutely adored. And
what's a slick chick?
Search it up. It's an old EM or EM, I guess.
Okay.
Single player, and
so that's the name of the table. Okay.
Yeah, and
for a minute I was like, is that its own thing?
No. But yeah, you learn how to nudge and all that, and it'll kick your butt all the time. It's a tough game, and it's easy to learn, hard to master.
Nice. Which one did you say was the great equalizer for tournaments? I failed to write that one down. I remember you saying there was a particular table. I'll have to go back and look. That was a kind of an equalizer. It was a table similar to that.
Yeah, a lot of the old EMs. There's some of them just have like one shot, realistically, that you can play. So once you learn that, you can do well. But
wow.
If it's in a tournament and you can't quite get that one shot, yeah, you'll have a tough time.
Right. Interesting. All right. Oh, how many tables did you actually start? What? How many tables actually start with multi-ball, like Lethal Weapon 3? So I guess is that common? I didn't notice that. That's something I've noticed too. Only on specific tables that like they have this option of starting with multi-ball, and I was wondering is that how common is?
I'm not familiar with that. Does Lethal Weapon 3 start with a multi-ball? A lot of the modern Sterns have like an easy to attain multi-ball. I think that helps with some of the beginners at a bar or something like that. You can within a few shots hit a relatively easy multi-ball, and it depends on the settings just to get you going.
Right. I forgot what table we were playing that actually had like a pre-game too, but I don't know if that's actually in the actual table. Had a pre-game multi-ball option, and somebody's like, "It's not worth it. You're just wasting your time to skip through it. There's no real points here. There is no points here. Move ahead." I was like, "Oh, all right, that makes sense." Is this Keith?
Yeah, badge of honors to memorize a lot of details about 500 different games. That's tough.
Give me a year. That's fine. Give me 5. Maybe I should take 5. It should be so ambitious. Give me that'll be the end of my life. One of the 2, 3. But I'm definitely want to learn more of them. And that's what I was saying earlier on. That's simply the best part of it. It's so intense and so many things I would have never thought to think of, and things I've been told, but things that it makes more sense when you see it slowed down and just spelled out for you. I've heard the advice before, some of it, about wait so many seconds for this, or there's so many milliseconds for that, but to see it broken down by the actual timing was super handy. I would never know on my own. I started doing it actually on the different shots. I'd start how long does that take before that light goes out? I started keeping track of stuff like that, and I wouldn't have if it wasn't for the video. I would never even thought to think about it. Anyway, it was handy.
Somebody's
Thank you.
asking about my favorite Fey art doll. Do you
Oh
have
my
one
lord.
do you have a damn it doll version? So when you get pissed off, you damn it, you hit it against the wall. You need something robust that can hold up.
Maybe. We might actually. We have a pillowy one. You could just all day wouldn't. It would just it'd just be like, thank you. May I have another, sir?
Got it. Our main couch has all these like smoosh pillow dolls that my kids have collected over the years, and I don't know where they get these. It's like they just grow. you sit down and it's like what, and you pull out another lump, and there's
right, they multiply.
And yeah, who knows where they come from?
We have the technology. They're like tribbles. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They're the new Mad Ball. The pod.
Tribbles. Oh, somebody wants me and my brother to stream and drink and BS. No, we'd probably get bored of each other. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, have to go down memory lane. It's like, oh, geez. There's
He's trying. He's trying. He's trying. You're trying to get the Hank back. Try. I got you on stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to.
It's a channel redeem, save up my points. Yeah, right. All right. Oh shit.
You do any of your raffles yet?
I haven't done the raffles yet, but I do have, and we should do that because I am seeing the time as well. Thank you. Oh my god, you're on the ball. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the game's dev studio giveaway first, and we're going to pick a winner. So good luck, everyone. And this is going out to Hollywood Polo, my brother. We'll be sending you out Game Dev Studios and on to the DVDs. We have 2 left. So here we go. Closing the giveaway. So we got one going out to the Game Club Central. Then we got another going out to Mr. Grinch. So congratulations to both of you. We'll be sending them out actually Monday. So that's like 2 days from now. So whenever the post office opens up, we'll be there sending them out to you. All 3 of them. I already got them sitting out, marked out for you guys. So I didn't somehow like do something else with them. So they're all ready to roll. It's awesome. Yeah, it's like 3:55. Wow. Time did fly. Face you and everyone.
We did have posters for the first 2 games, but I think I ran out of the Pinball Collector poster. If you look on eBay, they're like $4 or something.
Ooh. All right. Hey, that's a good tip. That's a pro tip right there. I'm gonna scoop me one up. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Unless I find where I put the other ones. all they have left.
And I got to make my way out to either Cali, go see Pants, make my way somehow, get this thing signed. Gotta have goals.
Yeah, if you
maybe a pin festival.
Take your merch, and my brother's available. Like giving a talk, he'll sign them for you.
That would be excellent. I would like you. Well, I would like both, but. We got what we can get.
And if you have a blank check, you can sign that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I might just do this. You might not want to put it in your account. And we're doing damage than good. But yeah, right on. Oh shit. Well, it's been fun having you. I'm not sure where we're gonna raid out to. I think we're gonna raid back into Marty because I think he's doing some crazy crap, like some WWF.
No.
That's that today.
No, it's postponed.
It's postponed.
Yeah, it's not happening today.
Oh,
You
I
just
guess
missed
not.
it. It's okay.
Nope, I'm good. All right.
It's all right.
Am I good? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you did have to cancel. All right. I'm going to take that. Yeah. And that was taken back.
Oh, like he can't believe me. See what I deal with, Randy?
You can't believe. Oh, I just rereading what you had said. I had full trust. I just thought he was like, no, it's back on, because you know that stuff happens all the time with the world of Twitch. It's like, oh, I'm gonna cancel. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I'm gonna see who's live and playing pinball.
Neo Pinball.
Neo Pinball?
Yeah,
let's...
Neo Pinball.
All right, that sounds wonderful.
Pinball.
All right. Well, I want to thank you again, Randy. It's
Thank
always
you
a
so much,
pleasure. I had a
Randy.
really fun time. I'm going to stay on, but so yeah, thank you everyone for coming in. Thanks for everything. We'll be properly thanking you tomorrow. Come Monday, we have a whole new tournament coming up. I'm entertaining the idea of maybe shortening it to 2-week tournaments. So there will be some developments coming up with that. We're moving to the FX systems. So we'll set up with prize pools then, and see you all on the flip side. You guys have a good one.
Brain Games is now over.